little Sigs. This is Heather. I'm your second cousin. I'm the second in the generation of the Aherns, who Lucy and John and Tom belong to. So it was John, and then it was me, and then 7 weeks later, Luce, and so on and so forth. So 1:45 on the day that is the party down at Dennis, and I'd love to be with you guys. I can't, because I suffer a lot of the same stuff that your grandmother suffered from in terms of health. These are my kids when they were younger. That's Zoe and Gretchen. That's them when Zoe just graduated. Obvious, but Zoe's the one in the graduation robes. Gretchen is picking her up, clearly. Sorry about the obviousness. I'm really out of it. And then that's what Zoe looks like. Ursula and Georgia, you would have met her when you were younger. And that's Zoe's prom. I'm going to take you guys outside right now. My house is really messy because I do what I can to stay on top of it, but it's pretty impossible considering it's kind of hard to walk sometimes. Okay. And I'm not going to put myself in this because I don't look normal right now, and it's supposed to be about Margaret, not about me. I want you guys to see what kind of a thoughtful person she was. And my dog may come along. I don't know. We'll see. Nah, guess not. Okay. So for the first time since I received these, I got to steam these beautiful pieces of art that I received from my aunt. And I've kept them all these years. And I mean, I'm talking like all these years. Like, I think I received these when I worked on Capitol Hill. Okay. These are silk. They're from the Museum of Art, Fine Arts, I believe. Let me look at the tags. But you can see that Margaret was not just about being thoughtful, but she was about wanting there to be a functional aspect and an importance and weightiness behind her acts. And I say that with utmost respect. This in particular reminds me of how your grandmother was, because she was very scientific and balanced, yet she was able to combine that with a stalwart focus on femininity and the importance of feminine strength in maintaining families. That's why she loved today's event so much, and it's so hard for me not to be able to be there. I like this one. Just noticing it now. Look at this pattern. Oh man, John, Lucy, and Tom. I don't think she was looking for this symbolism necessarily, but it's really nice for it to be there. And then of course, look at this. Look at how gorgeous that is. And you know, I have a piece of food here, and that's really embarrassing to like see that that's been there after all these years, but she wouldn't have been upset with me on that case. She would have just merely said, Heather, the instructions are right there. Let's see what we can do about that. Because that's who she was. Okay? Now, I need to stop this because I need to go do some errands. And if I have enough energy, I also need to go out to my garden. I need to water it, even though it's so late in the day. And you can see in my backyard I have a lot of really fun things. She would have appreciated it. And she also always had projects going, in spite of what kind of pain she's in. I always have projects going, in spite of the pain and how my time is limited and my energy is limited. And your grandmother inspires me on like a daily basis. I've done 2 before I got really sick. One before I got sick with RA. I did a triathlon 10 years ago. I think 10 years ago this weekend, actually. Actually 10 years ago today. In honor of her. and I wrote right on my wrist, I wrote MFA and relentless forward motion. I think I did, so I did MFA for her, MFAS, and then I also did relentless forward motion, RFM, meaning you just freaking tough it out through the pain, because that's what she always did. Okay. And then I did, if you're all familiar with Grey's Anatomy, you'll know Patrick Dempsey. He is from an area just west of here, and he has a cancer center that he funds because his mother fought cancer 4 times before she unfortunately finally died. And so he has an annual event that raises money for that center, and it's called the Dempsey Challenge. And I forget how many years ago, but it was after I was diagnosed with RA. I did the 25-mile bike, and I wore my Margaret shirt, which I had custom made. Later today, maybe tomorrow, not sure exactly when, I'll get it to your parents via social media, or at least Ed through email. I have pictures of her from our wedding, video of her from our wedding, as well as the shirt I wore that I had custom made for her that I wore as I rode in the Dempsey Challenge. A bunch of my aunts and uncles, so your grandparents' generation, your great aunts, great uncles, sponsored me in that, and it was really quite a wonderful thing to behold. All right, take care, little Sigs. I hope to meet you someday. I was totally planning on going today, and unfortunately my health is not something that I'm in control of. There I am right there. That's about all you'll see for today. Bye, kiddos.